Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second Signature Series Spotlight podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jonathan.
And today we have a very special guest. On today's Signature Series Spotlight podcast, we're joined by one of the most influential storytellers in modern comics, Brian Michael Bendis. An Eisner and Peabody award-winning writer, Brian's work spans across from everything from Powers, House of M, and Secret Invasion to serving as a primary architect of the Ultimate Marvel Universe. He's the creative force behind iconic characters like Jessica Jones, Riri Williams, and Miles Morales. His stories have shaped entire eras at both the Big Two, transforming universes and inspiring generations of readers, writers, and collectors. We're thrilled to have him here. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for those lovely words.
Well, thank you for joining us and taking the time.
Sorry, I'm not worried. There's something about my wiring. I don't. My brain shuts down, but I appreciate everything.
Well, we appreciate you, and like I said, your time. I know you're a busy dude, and we're very thankful to have you here on our second episode to nerd out, talk comics, talk about
I'm thrilled you're doing
everything.
This. Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I had a couple kind of questions lined up. I know you and I have talked so much in the past, usually about like music and movies. You turned me on to a lot of movies that I may have missed, during my generation and growing up, or some new stuff, or some like random indie stuff. So we never really talked too much about, I feel like, comics and kind of like your involvement and your history. So I'm just gonna hit you with a random question, if that's cool with you.
Sure. But people should know we know each other because you host the special event signings that are often promoted online. And so people who don't know how it works behind the scenes, you will literally come to Portland and set up shop. And I and some other creators will come hang out and just sign books away and talk shit.
Thousands of books while I question you like crazy about your favorite foods, because I like food and you're from that area. Like, what's the best spots to eat? Like the Asylum, that place is killer.
Portland is a fun place to recommend stuff. There's always something new going on. But anyway, so this is how we know each other, and it's always a lot of fun talking with you. It makes the whole thing just a blast.
And I think that's kind of how this whole thing also came about, because we're fortunate enough, me and Josh and the rest of the team are fortunate enough to go to these signings and talk to all you guys, and things most people don't get to do. So figured the podcast would be a great way to bring that experience to all the fans.
I agree. And that's perfect. Yeah, I agree. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, I think it'd be cool to do like some like live streams of signings and so they can really feel involved. Because a lot of these fans, they're very passionate. And, when we send if we take the pictures and videos on Instagram, you'll have people chime in like, oh, that's my book, or oh, that's this. And they get super excited. And it'd be cool to figure out that's the next step of the evolution of all this stuff here.
It's actually a very good idea. I think people would really dig it. Because even when we take pictures of the books, or they see the books on the table, they go, oh, that's mine. Like there's a genuine thrill to it. So that would be a cool thing.
Once we start doing that, I'll be reaching out to you. You'll be the first one. I'm like, hey, Brian, I'm gonna bug you again with a new fun project.
All right, there will be less gossip between me and Randy Emberlin talking smack about behind the scenes. Anyway.
Oh man, that's always fun though. I don't know. I like the industry talk. Yeah, it's always cool because you guys were around in such a cool era, and hearing all the different stories of what the offices were like, and different obstacles and projects you guys worked on, and even some stuff you like Miles Morales, for instance, right? Did you know when you were creating that storyline, did you know that Miles was really gonna explode and become this popular force? My kids know Miles Morales, I think, more than Peter Parker. That's their Spider-Man.
No, and I flat out no, I did not know. I mean, the goal for me was don't mess it up. Early on when we were cooking it, I literally went to my friend David Walker and I said, hey, we're thinking about going down this road, and he literally said, do not F this up, just do not. And then it just gave me an opportunity to really listen to people and really take in where we were and what we were trying to do, and getting those little extra special. Also, it wasn't rushed. We took our time with it, and it wasn't being done. Miles's situation wasn't being created in like a sales panic. Like sometimes when they,
Yeah.
it happens in TV too. Like, it's the 8th season of a sitcom and, ratings are a little down. Bring in
Like we
the
need
crappy
something new and
cousin.
spicy. Yeah.
Yeah, and bring in the funny little dude, and it never really works. It's always kind of a desperation feel to it. So I was really happy that like the conversation started in success. Like everything was fine in Ultimate Spider-Man. And we were just sitting around at the Marvel retreat. We had like literally we're sitting in the cafeteria just talking about what we would do differently today.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know and how the world has changed and how comics have changed and if we started over today, what would we do?
Yeah.
And that's where the conversation from Miles began. But we took a good year and a half before the public saw it. And even getting to that moment where figuring out that Peter's, spoilers from 15 years ago, Peter Parker's passing, say that 10 times fast, was actually like the Uncle Ben moment for this new character. That just like locking that in as like the final piece of the puzzle of could this work was really exciting. So no, I was only looking at the many examples of attempts like this that did not work.
Yeah.
Oh, in the history of both companies, there's all kinds of examples of things that worked and didn't work, and also very aware that no one was going, ugh, I'm so sick of Peter Parker. Ugh, could you please get rid of Peter? Like no one has ever said those words ever. So I'm like adding something to the equation that isn't being asked for. So that could be a dangerous scenario as well. So what happened was, the book came out, and I must tell you, people can see this on my Instagram. I just came back from Italy, where I got to really connect with Sarah Pacelli.
Yeah.
And though we've known each other for a very long time and worked together very well, never had even an ounce of weirdness. Just always just really.
Yeah, we love Sarah. Sarah's awesome.
Yeah, but between us, I can't believe you meet someone you don't really know them, and it just starts cooking to the point where you can get Miles Morales and his family out of it pretty quickly. That we didn't really even, because of language barrier and other stuff, we couldn't even really talk to each other about our baby went off to college and really is doing well. It's really a weird experience to share with someone, to have a cultural thing out there. And so in Italy, we really got to bond over it in a way that we never had before. So it brought up a lot of memories. It brought up a lot of feelings about those times, those early days, and just how very focused we are on just telling a good story. So if there's a lesson to be learned, it was just like my heroes, just don't worry about the message. Don't worry about the cultural impact of which having any is such a miracle, right?
Yeah.
Just tell a good story and let the cards fall, because what happened next was cards really just falling around us. We were the recipients of some very negative, racist press.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Beck, if people remember who that is, went on a really whacked out tirade about Miles Morales that instigated the Trevor Noahs and the Keith Olbermanns and the other media people to attack him for attacking us with what were obvious lies. You can Google it. I don't even want to repeat it. It's just hurtful language. But the highlight of which, though, was that Michelle Obama had brainwashed me into creating an Obama Spider-Man. And you can never forget someone saying that about you. So of course I've only been hypnotized by 4 or 5 people. Michelle Obama wasn't one of them. And but it was just a weird thing to be part of. And then I would turn on the news for quite a few weeks afterwards, and Miles seemed to be in the press a lot, talked about culturally. And it was out of my hands, and it was a weird feeling. But it did instigate him being involved in the cartoons, which brought on other media and other merch. And then all of a sudden, hey, Brian, they're going to make a movie. And it happened pretty quickly, as these things go.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a crazy experience. And then basically from the moment of the first issue's debut, up until literally last weekend, it's been a hug that never stops in my life. It's just a constant loving experience everywhere I go. And I literally went as far away from my home as I could go. And it was just all day long, miles, 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 and Sarah drawing miles, and people just being very emotional with us. Like, yeah, it's incredible. I don't even know how to describe it. And
Yeah, it sounds
I will never
extremely
fully
special, man.
process
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I will never fully process it. And I'm also grateful there was some of this happened with Jessica Jones a few years beforehand. Nothing like this, but still that was a pretty successful show on Netflix, and there was a lot of conversation around it. And it kind of like got me ready for what was going to happen with Miles, like just emotionally.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Well, that's awesome. I speaking of Miles, like let's say Miles never existed and you're creating like a brand new Spider character today in 2025. Is there any like particular like part of modern culture that would shape them most, or like would you do anything differently, or make him a robot, like a cyborg?
Well, it's interesting because that's where Miles came from. That was the conversation. Like,
okay,
what would we do today? Even though it was a 15 years ago conversation, it was a decade into Ultimate Spider-Man. We were into a couple generations of readers thinking, well, what would we do today? So that conversation for me would certainly revolve around talk about what our culture is like today. It's hard to look. It's so I don't know, man. I'm of two minds because like the costume design, the overall like look is so iconic, but he's really become one of the, particularly in the cinema world, one of the few superheroes with a secret identity, right? Like right out of the gate, the MCU was like, I'm Iron Man, I'm Thor, I'm Steve Rogers. Everyone knows who we are. Like there's no secret identities. Because in the modern world, they seem almost impossible that like a culture would go, yay, masked person. It's just not where we are.
Yeah, we immediately want all the answers. We want to know how, like what's that saying? Like how the chicken's being made or whatever. Like we want to see, know, and I mean I blame this. It's everything right here.
Yeah, it comes in waves, and I think we're in a wave now where like masks are seen as, well, what are you hiding? Right, like, and even though we grew up knowing masks to be, oh, I'm protecting my family,
you're protecting what you're
my
protecting.
Superhero ideas, yeah. So I'm that I would, and I wonder if because Miles is 100% part of Peter Parker's legacy, and happily know so. And I even like towards the end of my run had like Genki asking Miles, if Peter didn't exist and you got bit by a spider, what would you do? Like, what would be your inspiration? Like right now, you're like part of the Spider-Man idea.
Yeah.
But if there was no Spider-Man idea, would you have created a Spider-Man idea, or would something else come out of this? Like, would you identify in some other way as a hero or a vigilante or whatever you want to call it? And so that question was on my mind even when I was leaving. I don't know if I was going anywhere with it, or if it was me asking a question I'm going to eventually have to answer, or is it just one of those questions you should ask of yourself every once in a while just to keep things centered?
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's a good
to be continued.
Yeah, that's good. So that's a good segue into this question. You've reinvented legacy characters and built new ones from scratch. Which is scarier, changing something beloved or creating something that never existed?
Well, they're both really like great experiences. It's hard to like quantify them. Being additive to the toy box you grew up with is really special. Like having a couple of toys in the Marvel toy box. It's pretty great. It really is, and also. It's the best way, in a way, to express your love of the ideas that Stan and Jack and Steve brought to this, right? But I will say that when I'm making a list of things I wish I did more of, it's always creating more original ideas from scratch because it's harder. I mean, like it really is like it just takes more from you, and it's when it works, it's the best thing in the universe. You know what I mean? When it doesn't work, it's just complete apathy. Like nobody cares. Like and that's fine. Um, like right now, like corporately, we're living in a world of existing IP. Like they're only interested in things that already exist,
Mm-hmm.
right? But so many of my friends and I are like so passionately interested in what else we can do with the space that we have, right? So both have pluses and minuses. The plus for adding to the toy box is obvious. I think it's just like look at that, right? The minus is that you do damage to the legacy you're trying to be additive to. The good news is it's really hard to do, because if something doesn't work, the audience just rejects it, and then Patton Oswalt does a joke about it in 10 years. Like it doesn't it's just like a lot of bad movies just like disappear. You know what I mean? They just
kind of
never
fade away.
existed. Yeah. So most people are remembered for their highlights, unless you don't have any. But so being additive, both big and small, it has been very delightful to me. I really, really liked it. And kind of knowing that if you mess up, you go into the pile of the broken toys.
Yeah, the misfit one. I mean, you make a good point earlier. You said it's like, with like even with Hollywood, you're seeing the same IPs over and over, and like reimagined or sequels coming out, decades and stuff later. And like my wife and I were just having this conversation recently. It's like some kind of new IP or new story gets us really excited. Like we'll go to the movies to see something new because we were kind of tired of seeing the same stuff just kind of twisted and pulled and kind of wrung out for everything that they can get out of it. So
I find myself feeling very hypocritical even talking about this, as I literally just announced that Torso is back in development, and we're working on a Powers show that is just very exciting. So I'm benefiting from the IP farming that's going on, yet I'm also aware, boy, with all of these channels and all of these choices and all of these publishers, it's just
But see, I'm excited
so exciting
for like more like Powers show, because we were talking about this at the last signing. Is I got a PlayStation 3 like at launch, because I'm a huge gaming nerd. I was standing in line at midnight and PlayStation TV. What's this? I don't know anything about it. And like the first thing I watched on it was Powers. It wasn't anything. Like it was, and I remember Powers. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'll maybe watch this. And I really enjoyed it. I wanted to see more of it. So
we're in a situation right now. I think it's going to be announced pretty soon, where we're getting a big do-over that is very, very rare in this situation. I'm beyond excited. We just had our launch call today. It's really exciting.
I mean, I'm excited. I don't want you to say too much and leak.
Can you edit it out if I tell you what it is?
Just like cut all this out. Just like blur everything fast forward. We can edit. Yeah, whatever.
John, can you edit out the next?
Yeah, I could. Or if you want to wait till after the call.
Okay, that's
fair. Yeah, that's totally fine.
About that.
I have a question to run by you, because we're talking comics and stuff. You've done different comic conventions, just like you were saying. Miles is worldwide. You're getting praise all over. What's like the weirdest or like the coolest thing a fan has asked you to sign that made you think like, yeah, comic people are the best? Like these weird people.
Well, I'm happy to say right now, as we're talking, if you Google Bendis signs a dog, it comes right up.
You signed a dog?
I just the other day, someone was asking about it, and I Googled Bendis signs a dog, and the picture came right up. Someone brought to Seattle 2007, 8, something like that. Someone brought their dog for me to sign a Sharpie, right on a Sharpie, I believe. And the dog, Uber fan Pat Loika happened to be taking pictures at the moment, and the dog looked right into the camera lens like, fuck all of you.
That's such a curious thing to get signed, because unless you never wash the dog, I guess.
I know, yeah.
Also, I see people get tattoos and sign their body, but a dog, I've never heard. That's definitely a first that I've heard.
Even in Italy, someone had us come up, and me and Sarah signed his arm, and he came back the next day to the show to show us he already had it tattooed.
Yeah.
And I was like, boy, I hope I'm not a jerk. Like, you got my name. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
You do
don't
some
think there's
like wild
anybody
stuff
who's
down the road. Next thing you know, he hates you. He's got to get it like crossed
no,
off.
a lot of like quite a few of my literary heroes turned out to be complete pieces of shit. I would I don't think I get anyone's name tattooed on
that
me.
it is a gamble. Yeah, like you're really that's like it's like getting like your significant other's like name tattooed on your body because God forbid it doesn't work out. Next thing you know,
Yeah,
like,
Winona
shit,
Forever.
yeah,
I grew
yeah,
up with
right.
Johnny Depp's giant Winona Forever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was just in Tokyo for Tokyo Comic Con. My
Oh, I
first
heard it
time
was
ever in
great.
Japan. Oh, dude, it was so
Very
magical. I went with Frank Miller. It was just kind of helping him with like his signings, his panels, the stage stuff, and Frank and I have become very close over the years. So just kind of like being a friend and helping him
casually
out with whatever he
dropping
needs.
Frank's
I
name.
cannot be friends with him. It's impossible. He means too much to me. There's like a couple people I've just decided you are not a human to me. You are just this thing that is the reason I exist.
Oh man,
So,
Frank is like, yeah, he honestly the best part of the trip was just hanging out and like just shooting the shit and having laughs, talking about old children's books and different anime and music. I don't know, it was really great. But like the show itself was awesome. They really like catered to not just like the guests and the celebrities, but even the attendees. They got taken care of very well. But it
that's
was
cool.
cool to see all of these fans from the other side of the world, like coming up online with their, Daredevil books or like the Dark Knight Returns. They're like pages folded over, like they've read 100 times, and they,
It's the best.
it was so cool, Brian. Like
They're always the ones that apologize. Sorry, my book looks like this. I go, this is the nicest thing you could have ever brought. You
dude,
wiped your
it's so
ass with
cool.
this. This is
Oh,
incredible.
dude,
Yeah.
like that shit's seen war like twice, and
Yeah.
they were telling us like with Google Translate, which I mean was such a blessing to have that too. It was so cool to be able to communicate with our
Oh,
phones back and forth, and people are saying I traveled for 3 hours just to get a ticket and meet you to sign this book, and Frank was loving it because he was able to like really connect with his fans, and he was personalizing stuff and writing notes, reviewing people's art. Like I'll never forget this one girl that was there. She came up and she had this kind of like eerie art style, and I loved it. It was really cool. It's very, very like dark. And then she was saying how everyone told her she should change her art style. It's too scary. It's too scary to change it. So she was showing it to Frank, and he was like, "No, it's like if you're scaring
yeah.
people, you're doing
Yeah.
something good. You're, evoking like emotion. So keep it up." And sign something to her. She gave him a copy. He had her sign it, and she was in literal tears and like shaking. Like it just, you could tell that could have like that kind of was a pivot point in her life and like changed her
Yeah.
trajectory. Like I can't wait to see what this girl does in the future because her art was sick. She's super talented, but it was almost at a point where like, oh, maybe I should make it a little bit more bubbly or colorful. And Frank was telling her like, no. And it was
Yeah,
just really cool.
I
It was
agree
really
with
cool
Frank
to see
too.
that.
If you have anything special in your voice, you don't squash it. You lean into it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
What
It
a
was
gift
great.
that you can be creepy. That's a gift.
Yeah, right. But that's the point I was getting to is there was a guy there who had like one of the panels of Dark Knight like tattooed on his stomach. This guy was jacked too. Like it was just like he pulled his shirt up and it's just like this, perfect Photoshop body. And he wanted Frank to sign it, so Frank signed over it, and he went and got it tattooed and came back the next day to show him like, hey, check this out. And Frank's like, why would somebody do that? He's like, what if I become an asshole? I'm like, well, don't. You gotta keep him proud.
Okay.
He's got your name on it.
Agreed completely. Well, that's cool that you get these special moments with Frank like that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get a lot of special moments with, I mean, a lot of creators in this industry. With you, with Frank, with
Who is the
Kevin
coolest?
Eastman.
Who's the surprisingly coolest, and who was the worst? I know you have to say that last.
Everyone's great. It's hard to pick a worst, but
Sure.
surprising cool. I mean, honestly, I'll be totally frank with you. I was a little nervous about meeting you the first time because,
Oh, really?
yeah, because I've never met you, or really knew anything about you, and even like I've seen tons of people like conventions because I've been doing conventions with CGC since 2013, and I never came across you. I'm like, man, I wonder if this guy is like really weird and like just locks himself inside, or maybe he's a jerk and nobody invites him anywhere. Like I didn't know what to expect or what to think. Or
No, I just have 4 kids.
And then, well, yeah, then I met you, and it's like immediately I was just like, oh, this guy's cool. Like I like this guy.
Thanks,
shooting
man.
the shit, hanging out. Yeah, it was really, really awesome meeting you. And Alex Ross as well. Meeting Alex Ross, he was really, really fun to sign with and talk. I mean, we talked about Legos, I think, for like an hour of the signing, just different like Legos. And he was like showing like the new sets that he got. And I honestly have been so fortunate to meet so many of you creators, and I can't think of a single one that left a bad taste in my mouth. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
some obviously
good.
like a bigger, impact than others, but I mean, everybody's been so cool, and there's definitely some like if I saw them like at the mall, I'd like want to go give them a hug. I'm like, "What's up, man? How are you? How are the kids? How's London doing?" And stuff like that. I feel like we've like kind of become friends with all these super important people that mean so much more than than me. So it's been really, really cool to be a part of it all. And yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, even speaking, like signing can be such an intimate exchange. Like, what does it feel
It
like to hold a
can.
piece of your own history years later in its like original form? Does it like reconnect you to the creator you were at that time, or what's that like?
Yeah, they're almost like little like weird time travel bobbles. Like as soon
Hmm.
as you touch it, you're back there, you know?
Yeah, like
Um,
teleports you back. You can remember where you were sitting, what you were eating.
yeah, or what the emotion was that inspired, like what pulled this out of you to start with, you know?
Yeah,
Um, you're right. These signings can be very emotionally, like almost overwhelming because like I just did. No, that's I met a lot of people in Italy, and it was some of them were very emotional, like
yeah,
very like tears. You always sound like Trump, like big man with tears in his eyes, but they literally people come, and it like hits them in the moment how
yeah,
much a story means to them, and it doesn't have to be our story. Just like you can see comics hitting them in the face for a second. And they're like, "Wow, I'm really emotional." I go, "Yeah," like they'll say out loud, "What's happening?" And it's like I know this feeling. I know exactly what's going on. So just being any part of anybody's situation like that, it's a very positive thing. It's quite wonderful. It's also I know I sound like a Portland hippie, but just there's genuine energies that come off these things
yeah.
like it's more than just a reading experience. It just becomes, you kind of absorb it a little bit, and it becomes part of you, and then it comes out in weird ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're all often at a signing, we're there for those moments, you know.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, again, like
Yeah.
seeing, like we said earlier, seeing those fans that like you really like, you could tell like that book or that story like impacted their lives. And there's many a times where I get goosebumps when I see their excitement or when they're getting emotional. So it's almost like I get emotional. I'm like, I don't even know
Oh
why I'm
yeah.
like tearing up. Like I don't even know this person, but it's just like that. I don't know. It's like the emotion spreads, and that's why I love this industry. It's a very, very magical industry, and it kind of, I always joke with my wife. I tell her like I'm Peter Pan. I'm never going to be old. I'm always going to be a kid. And this industry like really helps like
It does.
remain, you stay a child. Like I'll be a child at heart forever because of this industry.
And for me, just as a parent, I just, again, I'm just coming off this Italy situation, which was nuts. You can see it on my Instagram. And um my kids are with me, and most of the time dad's just in the house in his sweatpants, staring at the wall, trying to figure out, how to put a sentence together. And then this happens, and I can see my kids are old enough now where they're like, "Wow, this is weird," and I'm like, "Yeah." And then I go, "Hey, and my daughter was like processing it, and I was like, "Hey, the lesson of the day is I don't care what you guys do for a living, but the energy you put out is the energy you get back. The end." I mean, I've learned nothing else from this. It's that, like, you put out good energy in your work, it will come back, whatever it is. So it's good that I get to like show them that in such an over the top way that they can like process it and decide what they're going to do with it.
And I think it's important too, like, teach the younger generation some of these lessons, like give it your all, don't half-ass anything. And like you said,
Yeah.
the energy you put out is the energy you get back. I mean,
Yep.
when you've been in rooms with the biggest names in comics and film, television, like what's one lesson you learned from like another creator that changed your approach to writing, like if you've had one?
I've seen some of the best lessons I learned. I mean, I've been at a lot of Marvel retreats with some of my favorite writers of all time. Those were very good experiences. I've made some genuine lifelong friends from those experiences as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I always found, like, when I was working as part of the creative committee at Marvel, they would, particularly in those first like 8 movies or so, they would parade us in with the filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see like how Kenneth Branagh handles a note, you know, like,
Yeah.
and or how Joss Whedon handled the enormity of what was being put on him for Avengers, like, and also like Shane Black, man, I love Shane Black, and I got to like have meetings with Shane Black about Iron Man 3. That was like, I was like, I'm getting also, and you're paying me. I would literally pay for this experience.
It's got
I
to be
would
so
literally
surreal.
no, I told Kevin Feige, I go, if you said give me $200 right now, I go, okay, yeah, that was totally worth it. But like there was one moment where I saw Kenneth Branagh came into the room and acted out the entire movie of Thor for us, like for 6 people at a table. Me and Joe Quesada was there. It was the creative committee. He did the whole movie, acted out all the parts with an Anthony Hopkins impression, just like with Shakespearean flair. And I was like, man, sell your fucking story. Like he was
Yeah.
not taking anything for granted. I have a story to tell. I have a reason I want to tell it, and I'm going to sell you. I'm going to show you. And it was, and overall, all those people, the from my peers to heroes, the people that were in a yes and mindset were like not shutting people down for trying to be creative, but like it's an improv tenet, which is you don't know but you yes and, right?
Yeah.
And this yes and idea of like when someone's throwing out ideas, you elevate them, that those people succeed creatively and sometimes financially, but that's where success really comes from. And it's very easy to remember that on a day-to-day basis, just that whatever situation you're in, like look for where you can yes and it, you know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
have that passion. And I mean, it sounds like if you surround yourself with other people who have at least a similar like volume of passion, then I mean, you really get the fires going, and then magical things like
Yeah.
Isles happen or Ironheart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so talking about like all the characters you've made, all the movies you've been involved with, like everything you've done, is there a moment in time where you realized, hey, my work's going to outlive me?
I'm still not sure of that. So honestly, it's not something I think about much. I have had a couple of medical incidences in my life where I may have had to process that at a moment, but I'm curious how these things will evolve into our culture as things develop and process. I think a lot about my heroes, like Jack Kirby, who I never met, and how in interviews he would talk about, oh, I wish they would make movies of this stuff. Yet he didn't get to see that not only did they make a movie, but they made a movie where characters he created in every decade of his life came together, and it's the only thing anyone in this country ever agreed on before or since. Like that was awesome, right? And I'm almost sad that he didn't. I am genuinely sad that he didn't get to see it. Yet me and my friends, my peers, are like alive and kicking while these things are happening to us, and how crazy that is. And like Kelly Sue DeConnick lives right down the street from me, and Carol Danvers, the version you see in the movies, was created in my house at the same time I was cooking Miles Morales. They were staying with us while their house was being worked on. And I remember very clearly her showing me the first pages of Captain Marvel #1. And
wow.
and that all happened in the same house and the same energy. And we get to experience it like with our kids live, you know what I mean? Like, so what will our version be when we're gone? I don't know. Or will the culture have shifted dramatically past all of this into some other form, of AI sloppy nonsense? Who knows?
I don't know, damn dude. It sounds like you got a magical house, so like I might have to come over and like
Yeah.
hang out in there and try to.
Portland is a magical comic city. It's hard to deny it. It's everywhere we go. It's all the time. Like I was literally a Friday. I was at Dark Horse all day, just hanging out, just having the best time. It's just everything is very comics. If you chose suit, it's very creative city,
Yeah.
but like so many comic people are here. It's crazy.
Well, it's cool. Like when I was there recently for the signing, I just recently got into Magic the Gathering, so I had some time to kill. Got in the city early, and I just like looked up like, oh, there's any like game stores. You know, I go look and buy some Magic packs or whatever to open the hotel room. There was so many to choose from. Like where I live, there's one within like a half hour drive.
I have to
there, I was
remind
like, shit, dude, I
myself.
could walk 10 minutes and hit 3 of them.
Yeah, I have to remind myself of that too. Is that like not only do we have a bunch of comic stores here, but they're all genuinely little unicorn stores that are awesome. I had a similar experience earlier in the year. Me and my wife got to go to Belgium
Oh wow.
for the big Reads show, and there was on the map they showed there was like 7 comic book stores within like 400 feet of each other, like
Wow.
really within walking distance of each other. And I said to my wife, I go, I think I got to go see what this is.
Yeah.
Because I just go, how could that be? Right? Is
Yeah.
it like one store, but really it says it's 7? It was 7 different stores, each catering to a different audience, each curating their collection differently, each one more fascinating than the next.
See, that's dope.
So,
So they all have their own like
yeah,
little
it's crazy.
personality, and they're all right there. I wonder if they have like
Yep.
crazy rivalries, like gangs of New York style. So like middle of the night, they're going
No,
out
but it
there,
looks like they were all
they're all homies.
supporting each other. That was
Yeah,
the crazy part.
that's
Yeah.
special. That's
Yeah.
special. I've never been to Belgium. I want to go. I'm gonna have to go just so I could check
Oh
out these comic
boy,
shops. I hear that place is it's beautiful. People are nice. Food's good.
gotta tell you, it was. I literally turned my because we do get to travel because of this wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
And Belgium was when I go, should we live here? Like this is really incredible. Yeah, it was nuts. Other cobblestone. That's the only thing. That's the only negative.
Oh, like all the like the roads and stuff. Or
Yeah,
see, you
I'm
know me, I'm a
I'm a
car
I'm
guy.
a
That'd be tough for me
I'm a
having
bike
like a
rider.
lower car. Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
did get to go to in Bruges. We went to Bruges, and I got to see one for people who are fans of that movie, that great crime movie. When you go there and you see that the entire town is just that tower, you realize how lazy that writing is. Literally, there's nothing else in the city but that tower. The whole movie takes place around that tower. Anyway.
um, see, I have a couple other questions here. I
Sure.
wanted to pick your brain. I don't want to ask you all of them. I wrote down so many.
And also, let me just say that we're talking about some like over the top stuff in my life that I'm
Yeah.
often, including about what happened in Italy, deeply humbled by, and often rather somewhat confused by. Like I'm always like trying to process it at the same time. So just I want like it's all very humbling to me.
Oh,
I don't know
I
how
mean,
else to do it.
I
And
feel
when I
like I
share
know
it,
you well enough, Brian, to know it's like, yeah, you're not like throwing. Honestly, I can't imagine like a better person for opportunities like this to happen to. Because, like you said, like you go, it's not you getting away from your family. Like you bring your family, and you get to show them different cultures, but you're also like happy to do it, and you never come
Yeah.
off as like. I can see it like almost. I don't want to say imposter syndrome, but like having that moment where it's like, wait, what the hell? How am I here? Why am I here? What's going on? Like,
Oh,
me?
that happens.
Really?
That happens. But I've learned to internalize it because no one wants to hear it. But but I do like I teach at Portland State. I
Mhm.
teach comics writing, and my whole vibe is really like, oh look, if you do this, you get to experience this. Like it's like the reward could be enormous. Like and not to be braggy, but to be like, please try to do this. I would love for you to experience this if this is something that you want to do, or if you're just a reader and you want to know that it affects us too. Yeah, it affects us. You're not alone in this interaction. Yeah, I go home feeling overwhelmed with emotion from it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. What's your white whale of writing? Like the thing you're still trying to master even after doing this for like decades in the industry. Do you have like a white whale of writing? You master it all?
Yeah, no, there's you realize there's no perfection in art. There's no mastering. There's just this overall attempt towards the unobtainable goal of creating the perfect story experience, even though that literally does not exist. So it's like, all right, so let's live a life of that. Let's just like always trying to challenge myself creatively, not resting on any laurel that I may have found for myself. um I am like I would love to, in this stage of my life, uh be creating things that are up there with my best, if not better than my best. I don't know, like I'm trying really hard to big swings with a lot of my friends and peers, and anything I dedicate myself to, like I think that's the white whale at the time. Like the Phenomena. I did this book series with Andre Lima called Phenomena, on sale now from Abrams Books, and it is among my favorite things because it's so outside of what I thought I was capable of doing when I started, and the collaboration was so successful behind the scenes, and how we treated each other and how it all came together, that it felt like a lot of lessons learned well in a book. So those that just doing that as often as possible, like challenging myself and not knowing if I can do it, is the white whale. And
Yeah.
then looking back and saying, were any of these the white whale? Like you can only do it when you're looking back. But I will say that when I'm committing to producing something publicly, literally asking people for money for it, that I deeply believe that this is the best I can do, or I wouldn't bother you with it. That's what I think about all the time. It's a very hard question to answer,
Well, what I appreciate
because
is
you
seems
just know
like,
it's an ongoing concern. It just never stops, at least for me.
and it seems like when you put your mind to something, or if like you have an idea, like you really go for it and you swing for the stars. You don't, like we were saying earlier, you don't half-ass anything.
I appreciate that. It's like
Yeah, like
it's a reflection of a lot of the heroes that I grew up reading or experiencing, or still being inspired by. I'm like, oh, that's the kind of person I want to be. Like they're not all going to work, but goddamn, no one's going to say you didn't really give it what you got,
yeah,
and or how you treat people. I remember, like I was watching an interview with Spielberg early on, and he was like going out of his way to go, oh, the giant boulder was this guy's idea, and the hat was this guy's idea, and like really going out of his way to make sure that people who contributed got their credit,
yeah.
knowing full well it did not take away from his legacy at all. In fact, it added to it, right? Versus a lot of people, even in our industry, who are desperately trying to take credit for things and keep the credit, right?
Mhm.
And I just remember like watching Spielberg not needing to, just throwing out credit where it was due and going, yeah, that's who I want to be when I grow up. Like that's the kind of creator. And there's a lot of creators outside of comics, particularly, who acted a certain way in their field of music or movies or playwriting, and I'm like, all right, that's who I want to be. That's not who I want to be. And
Yeah.
then you meet them in comics too. Like I don't go 10 minutes without saying this, but when I was a kid, I met some of my heroes,
Hmm.
and they treated me well, and it changed my life. So I spend most of my day going, be Walt Simonson.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
just
man,
whatever you're
Walt. I
doing
love
today,
Walt.
be Walt Simonson.
Man,
And
that
even
dude,
in
he's the best.
yeah, and even in his later years here, his work has not fallen off even a bit, like not even a tiny bit. And and he's delightful. And then as you get older, you realize how nice he treated me at 12 was not some like outlier. That's just what he was doing all the time for everybody. And it's so when I'm at shows like that, at my brain, I'm like, be Walt Simonson.
Walt Simon,
Yeah.
man, he's him and Weezy, they're both very, very special
Yes.
people. Obviously to this industry, but just as a whole. We did a signing with them recently, and it's always pleasant and laughs, and like you said, like he has not dropped off. As you know, like I'm a big fan of Edward Scissorhands. Walt did an Edward Scissorhands sketch for someone. I think it was like August this year, and man, it was insane. I was like drooling over it. Like, man, how can I convince my wife to let me buy this off this guy for, just skip the mortgage payment this month so I can have a Walt Simonson, Everett Scissorhands. So super, super talented.
That's cool.
We got to reach out to him, try to get him on one of these
That would be
podcast episodes. I think he'd be great at it. He's so fun and energetic.
Agreed.
He's got great stories too, I'm sure.
And Klaus Janson. That's another.
I've talked to Klaus a little bit.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if I can do like a duo with Klaus and Frank. I think that could go really well, or get crazy. It'll probably go on for like an hour and a half, and we'll end up just making fun of each other and busted chops the whole time. I don't know.
There's a great conversation with them online from a couple of years ago. That's really, really something special.
They're very, very fun. I mean, Jonathan and I did a signing with them recently, like this past year, and just seeing those two sit there, like we all just kind of like took a step back almost, just to watch them just talk and exist together, the back and forth. And dude, it was awesome. They actually even joked about, Klaus was joking about doing a podcast, like calling it like grumpier old men, or whatever it was. Just these, those two just kind of just goofing, and it's like it's that pure energy, right? It's like they're not. Some people are trying to like fake it, or like you were saying earlier with Spielberg, giving credit where credit's due. People are trying to like steal credit, or almost like just falsify stuff to, I don't know if it's to make themselves feel better or whatever. But then you have these people who are just genuinely having fun and care about what they do, and they swing for the stars with everything they do. It's not bullshit. It's real. And that's I don't know. Again, I can't say enough like positive things about the creators that we've gotten to hang out with. Awesome. And just,
haven't had
I've had similar experiences. I've gotten to work with almost all of my heroes growing up. A blessing beyond anything I could imagine. Some of it was just Tom Brevoort going out of his way to make sure I got a couple of George Perez pages in on my Avengers run, just like really gifts beyond measure. And so I know this experience of which you speak. It is really special. And like I worked with Klaus over the years a lot now. Like we worked on Daredevil and Superman and anytime he emails me, I'm like, that's the guy from my childhood.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anyone?
Hey, you're the reason I'm here. That's amazing. Yeah.
Is there anyone that you like haven't had the chance to work with that you would love to?
Sure.
Someone who's like, maybe someone who's new and up and coming, or someone who's still putting work out that you still have the opportunity to work with?
I've had some genuine, squeezing just even a couple pages out of Art Adams or Michael Golden when they do so few interiors at this stage in their life. Has been I always look, you've been gifted 5 Michael Golden Daredevil pages. Like what else could you possibly ever ask for from the man? But yeah, there's a handful. Boy, or I was lucky enough to work with them once, and I'm like, boy, I'd like to try that again. Like that was and that would be like Simonson on Avengers. I got to do Avengers with Alan Davis. That was an incredible experience, which then I found out later on he said something lovely about it publicly that he never said to me. Then I'm like, oh, good. I didn't embarrass it was just the public announcement. I did not embarrass myself. And because that was me fully writing outside my comfort zone. And like Howard Chaykin is another one. Like Howard, taking time to do some, mainstream work with me was really special to me. The guy meant everything to me when I was coming up. So, and then there's people like, it's never going to happen, like Jaime Hernandez or, Milo Manara. Like, there's just like, it's never like, no way. And even like, the couple of times I've tried to get Frank just even tangentially involved in some nonsense we were doing on Daredevil, it just wasn't the right time, but that's okay too. It's okay just to admire them. You don't have to like touch them, but once you get to experience, it's very addictive. And there's always new people coming up that I'm like, oh, I would love to do something with that. I mean, that's where Phenomena came from, when I was just looking at Andre's stuff and going, oh man, that is awesome. So every once in a while, there's an artist whose work I don't just like, but I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about this person and I don't even know them. Like, I'm really thinking about doing stuff. And so there's a handful of creators right now that I would really drop everything to do something with. And also part of my Italian trip was almost every stop I made. Someone who I'd worked with in the past, who's Italian, came to visit me. I got to reunite with Andrea Sorrentino, who I loved working with on X-Men and Old Man Logan, and then Gabriel Del Odo,
Oh yeah,
who I
you
did
love
Secret
Gab.
War with.
Hmm.
No, I was in Italy and I was signing like an inordinate amount of Secret War, like an incredible. It's a book I did 20 years ago with Gabriel, but I was signing them like they were new this week, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's huge in Italy. Like, my God, they love him. So it was really special. We got to reunite as well, and it was like there's just people who I've had moments with. I'm like, I would love to reconnect with you at a different stage in our life and see what else we got, you know.
Yeah.
So, and that may happen with everyone, including I'm reuniting with Sarah right now, which I never thought would happen. I reunited with Mark Bagley. That came out amazing. So these are really special moments for me. They really mean the world.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you get to have those special moments, and it's cool that you get to like reconnect with people later on.
Yeah.
Like you said, see how everyone's kind of evolved and grown, and they see how they have families and kids and different set of responsibilities. And
Yeah, I
speaking
do.
of Bagley, and you talked about the Avengers a little bit too. Like recently announced was you working on Avengers 800. Are you able to like tease or speak on that at all, or is
Yeah,
it?
I mean it's a story and it's an anniversary story, so it's really a
Mhm.
celebration of Avengers. I will say that um, it was lovely. You know, CB called me a few months ago. CB Cebulski's editor in
Mhm.
chief of Marvel, who I've known a very long time. He used to be an editor on Powers, and so we have a long history. And I would be ponderously arrogant to think that Marvel would ever call me back after I left. Like
Mhm.
I had, once you leave, once you break up with someone, they don't,
Yeah,
that's
door kind of
that's
shuts.
it. But I wasn't leaving because I was angry at anybody or frustrated. I was just like, it's like being a Saturday Night Live cast member. Like there's a span here. You just don't know how long it is. Like it's not your forever job. It's
Mhm.
so and I got to stay. I said I got to stay a Keenan Thompson amount of years at Marvel. So
Yeah.
so I more than most, but and that was part of it too, is that there was one time I was at Marvel with Matt Fraction, Kelly Sue DeConnick, and Ed Brubaker, and they all left. And then I was there with another Matt, Kelly, and Ed. It was Matt Rosenberg, Ed Brisson, and Kelly Thompson. I went, oh, I should leave. Like there's literally another generation of namesakes,
Yeah.
and so I left, and I didn't expect to ever hear from them. And then CB called and said, we have a handful of things we've been thinking about for you. And I'm like, oh, thrilled. And two of them, none of it's been announced yet, but when you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, of course he's going to say yes to that. But genuinely special things. And then I got a call from Will Moss and said, hey, I hear you're back. Boy, it would be great if you could be part of this Avengers 800 as you were the author of Avengers 500. And I was like, wow, okay. And then CB goes, hey, Bagley's retired, as you know,
Mhm.
Josh, but maybe we can get him to come back. And so Bagley, who again, another person where all that work we've done together, I don't think we've ever had a weird conversation. It was
Oh,
always
really?
lovely, always
Yeah.
lovely,
Awesome.
always. Like even when I messed up, he was so nice about it. It made me feel worse.
Yeah.
Like there's some stumbles I had early in our collaboration as I was just trying to figure out what I was doing, And there
Mhm.
was like one point where I was like literally drawing the pages. I would write the script and then draw the pages and then hand it all over to Mark. Who was I was a writer artist and I didn't know where the writing stopped.
Yeah.
And then Bagley, he's from Georgia. He's a lovely Southern gentleman. You've met
Yeah.
the guy.
Oh yeah, I love Mark.
Yeah, and he called me and goes, hey man, don't do that. That's my job. You don't have to do that. And I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Like it'd be much better if he yelled at me. Like I
Yeah.
handle it. So he goes, oh, you don't have to do that. That's my favorite part. And I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassing myself. So that's as bad as it ever was with us. Everything else was delightful. Um, so he says yes, he comes out of retirement and he goes, hey, listen, no crowd scenes. And I'm like, oh, it's an Avengers anniversary issue. I don't know what I
be
can.
a lot of crowds, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it allowed me to like recontextualize it visually into a way where when you see what he handed in, I'll text it to you later because
Yeah.
you're gonna be floored when you see this. He went from no crowd scenes to one of the greatest drawings he's ever done in his whole career.
Wow.
Dude, yeah,
And I've been
I
there.
would love to
I've
see
been
that.
there for some of his best moments,
Yeah.
and this knocked me out.
No shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious to see it. I was gonna say you should double down and just do like the most crowd scenes possible to see if he still is like with the nice like, hey, maybe they're saying he finally like breaks. He's like, you know what? That's
Josh,
it.
you got
And
your
then-
phone open?
I do.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can do this here. Hold on. I think I can do this.
It's
While
super
we're
cool that
talking.
you and Mark doing this this issue. Like I just I mean you guys had like the longest run on Spider.
We do. We were lucky enough to get the we have the record for the longest running creative team without a break.
Yeah.
You know, I will say that we beat Stan and Jack, but to be fair, they created the entire Marvel universe in their run. All right, I'm gonna send you. Hold on a second. It's coming. I promise. And this is the worst thing to do on a podcast is start scrolling through your text.
What's funny is people are gonna like when they see this podcast or when they listen to it on their drive to work or whatever, you know, however they
specifically
consume,
so we can tease an audience.
they're gonna be like, "Son of a bitch, I want to see it," and I'm just gonna be ha 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 ha.
Josh,
They'll see it.
Josh, have to text this to me.
All right, here it comes. Hold on, Josh, you ready?
Yes, sir.
I got two things to send you. One is what has been announced. All right. You ready? All right. And this is Avengers 800. All right.
Imagine you sent it to the wrong Josh. There's like a different
Josh. I've done that before. I have definitely done that before.
Holy shit, dude.
And now I'm going to send you something that hasn't been announced. And this is Sarah Pacelli. You ready?
Yeah, I'm still looking at this Mark. Jesus, dude. I can't wait to talk to Mark about that. Oh, brother.
This is the worst thing I've ever done on the podcast.
Holy
you can't even talk about. So
man, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps from that.
Yeah, I sent him a genuine goosebumps thing. Not a lot of people have seen that, so lock it in the vault. I know you're trustworthy.
Whoo, doggy! I can't wait to talk with people about. I can't wait to talk to Mark about the what you just sent me, but I can't wait to talk to other people with that.
But he went from no crowd scenes to doing that on his own.
That's so funny. Because
and I think I wrote to him. I don't care who's in it as long as Luke Cage and Spider-Woman. You know me.
Yeah.
So Josh, how amazing is that?
Dude, it's wild. Like it's like I said, I legit got goosebumps, and now I'm like slightly sweating. Like, should I just delete this from my phone? Like, what if
I would like
at this? You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, yeah.
Well, it's not national security. It's just something very cool that's coming up.
Yeah,
that is beyond anything I'd ever thought I'd get to do.
Dude, yeah, you gotta be super hyped. That's crazy. I'm like out of questions now. That's everything. Well, you could have started off. Could have been like 3 seconds into the podcast. Like, all right, I'm stoked. This is great. See you guys.
As we're recording, it's the end of the year. And what was your movie, comic, and TV show of the year?
Ooh,
Jonathan,
you just dump this on me right now.
You just gave me another just hard one to movie, comic, and
movie. It was a good movie year. There was a lot of like.
TV show of the year
for you. It doesn't have to be the best one. Doesn't have to.
I just finished Welcome to Derry.
Oh yeah,
that was amazing. It felt like you were the way they expanded the universe and brought in characters. They have characters in there from The Shining, and they're just making the world so vast now. I thought it was wonderful. They did a great job with that, and Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is amazing, and I'm glad he came to do the TV show. But it also
That's
seems
awesome.
like actors are doing more TV shows than they're doing movies now. So
There's literally no difference now. It's so
Mhm.
funny because even years ago, the conversations between TV actors and movie actors, and now it all goes to the same little tiny screen on your phone. It's
Yeah.
all going to the same place. So,
I haven't seen Welcome.
except
My
for
kids
Leonardo
watch
DiCaprio.
it. They love that Welcome to Derry. I saw, I think, a little bit of one episode. I'm not really big into like the horror scene. I'm a comedy guy, or like I love rom-coms, good rom-coms. I don't know about show. My favorite movie, I think, the first one that comes to mind is Sinners with Michael B. Jordan. Like I really, really enjoyed that
It was
movie.
incredible.
It was really awesome, and which is funny because again, like I just said, I don't really like horror movies, but that I wouldn't say it's like a horror. I don't know. They did something like really, really good with it where it wasn't just trying to scare you. Like they're trying to like tell the story and like it's a very like heavy, like message behind it. And like I was at the edge of my seat the whole time. And then
Yeah,
you're laughing,
weapons.
you're crying, you're like it was very like full of anxiety. I don't know. I've watched the movie like 3 times already. I love it.
Yeah, weapons are the same vibe, which is like
Definitely.
it's. There's some terrifying things happening, but that's not what this is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I gotta
it's
see. Someone
incredible
was just telling
bit
me
of
about
business.
weapons recently. It might have actually been Sealand with like, but I gotta watch that. I heard it was actually pretty
yeah,
pretty
it's
awesome.
It's fantastic. It really is. I'm not just saying this because he might be making one of ours. I was really blown away by it. It's the best Josh Brolin performance ever. There's just a lot of things to really admire.
yeah.
And
They're
also, Jonathan, what are your favorite podcasts? Like what do podcast people listen to?
man. Me,
I love the podcast space so
Mhm.
much. That's where I
I
spend most of
listen
my time.
to a lot of weird older guys talking about toy collecting and stuff like that. And then of course I'll listen to Joe Rogan.
Is that not what this is right now?
Yeah, this is,
That's
so
true.
this
That's
is
true. I honestly feel like this is way cooler than half the podcasts I'm listening to. I'm listening to like a bunch of guys that go to thrifts every weekend, and then they're telling you about the toys that they bought and stuff like that. That's the type of
That's
stuff.
awesome. How about you, Josh?
I really
Movie of the year, TV of the year.
well, movie, like I
Podcast
said,
of the
first one
year.
that comes to mind is Sinners. TV is tough. I mean, I watch just like a lot of anime primarily now. Like there's like I started watching Task with Mark Ruffalo and the wife. We started watching
Oh, I
that.
heard it's good. I haven't checked
So
it yet.
far, it's pretty dope, dude. We're like
Yeah.
maybe halfway through, and I'm digging it. Like I just rewatched Mr. Robot this year. It's one of my favorite shows. Like I like to rewatch a lot of older shows, and then anime with the
Yeah, me
kids,
too.
like Solo Leveling. Watched that this year. That was sick. Like Mashal. It's like Harry Potter, but the main character doesn't know any magic. He's just like absurdly strong and does like a lot of weird, funny shit. So yeah, TV show would be tough. I'd have to, I guess, like lean Task, I guess, because I think everything else I've watched
Sure.
this year is like older shows. I want to pick something that came out this year, even though I'm only halfway through.
I honestly can't think of movie for the year.
Really? It's been a
It's a lot of
really
good
good
ones.
movie year.
I don't know why.
All right.
What about you, Bri Guy? What do you have for your favorite movie?
What
show?
about podcasts before we
a
move on to-
podcast?
Yeah. You said you're in
there's-
comedy space. What are some of the best ones are comedy? So
Well, the podcast that I listen to, there's this guy, Colin Moriarty. He used to work at IGN, this video game company that I liked, and he started off his own thing, and then he does these 2 different podcasts. One's like a nostalgic one. It's like him and his brother just talking about nostalgic things. So it could be, going to grandma's around the holidays, to a favorite vacation, to puberty, to skateboard, whatever it is. They just kind of talk, and like we're a similar age, so it just kind of like scratches some of that like itch that I have there. And he also has one where it's just like random. It's called Constellations, and it's just random topics. It's actually like I was talking to Jonathan about like if I were to do a podcast, how I would like kind of structure it. And it's just random people come in. You have no idea what anyone's topic is. They just kind of like, hey, let's talk about, cars. Or let's talk about where money comes from, whatever you want to talk about. So like my topic, I'd be super prepared for, but you guys wouldn't.
Mhm.
And your topics, you'd be super prepared for, but I wouldn't. So you kind of get this like natural, organic debate and kind of like what if conversation. So those are the ones that I lean towards.
that's cool.
There's an episode of that out there that has not yet been released that we did, me and Josh.
Of my podcast, just joshing. joshing around.
We'll send that over to you so you can check it out.
Yeah,
Are
you can tear it apart.
you making some pilots? You're trying out some stuff?
Yeah. We did the first one just at a convention, sitting in the hotel room. Jonathan, myself, and then another friend / CGC employee of ours. His name's also John. It's like 3 J's. And we're just kind of like just talking about just the most random shit. And we're like, oh, let's just see how it goes. And next thing you know, it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And we're like, we should probably sleep. We got to be up in like 3 hours to work, at Comic-Con. But I just, me, Brian, I just like talking to people. I always want to like know how people tick, and I get excited and like happy for other people. Like when I see people I know like kind of moving up or like getting these like victories in life, it just I think helps motivate me to keep me going. It's like, oh man, I love it. Look what they're doing. Like that's so awesome. Like good for them. Like I want to be with them. I want to help them or have, I don't know. It just it's like
awesome. That's awesone.
Well,
all right. For me, yes to Sinners, and as I said, Weapons. It's been a really good year for film, and I know One Battle is going to win Best Picture and should, but the two that just stayed with me all year and have been really like touchstone for me, and as I revisit some new spaces, older spaces in my life with hopefully new things to say, both at Marvel and with Powers, like watching Danny Boyle's 28 Years Later was really, I think it's on Netflix now. It's an incredible film. It is like just shocking and delightful with its choices. And then it's similarly a movie that I don't think anyone saw, and it's so good, is Soderbergh's Black Bag with Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. It's the kind of movie Soderbergh made like 20 years ago, but he has completely new things to say with it. And I was really blown away by these two. It just really knocked me out. And in TV, looking at Blue Eye Samurai is like probably the most beautiful thing. And like, it's like we have some projects in animation space, and looking at that as a North Star, like, if only we could get there. Like this beautiful. If people haven't seen it, it's stunning.
It's stunning. Yeah, I kind of forgot that even came out. That's a very, very special anime. I was talking to I think it was like Scott Williams about that, because we were talking about different anime, and that one, I think he's the one that told me about it, and I went and checked it out. It just, gorgeous to watch.
I'm in awe, honestly, and it just got better and better as it went. And for me, podcast, man, I love that. That's where I spend a lot of time in my life. And I've really, I love the Comedy Bang Bang space. They have a paywall, and behind the paywall, Bobby Moynihan does a Batman podcast. That's one of the most incredible things I've ever heard. I got to be a guest on it. It was just incredible. He literally does the podcast as Batman. And
really?
It's
that sounds awesome.
It is ridiculous. It is so funny. It's all improv. It's so funny. And similarly, Andy Daly, who I think is a genius, has a podcast called Bananas for Bonanza. And it's been going on for a while now. It's him and Matt Gorley from the Conan O'Brien show. And it's a comedy show, but they really do a rewatch of every episode of Bonanza, but they're making fun of rewatch shows. They're making fun of Office Girls, but it's hilarious. And but they do it for real. They go through every single beat of every single episode in character of these characters they invented. Incredible.
Yeah, that sounds really, really fun.
And my another one I was lucky enough to make it onto, but Blank Check with Griffin and David is a movie podcast that I am obsessed with. I love this so much. They did their whole last year was early Spielberg, and then they did they did every Coen Brothers movie. They'll do a whole episode for one movie. So it's like, we're just doing Barton Fink, we're just doing Fargo, and it's just they do. And if they're hits or not hits, they do the whole filmography. And the idea is that it's blank check. It's the directors that get a blank check and they can do whatever they want, and sometimes that really works out great, and sometimes it really doesn't. And as an examination of our culture, it is second to none, and it's very funny.
I'll have to check that one out. That one
Yeah, I think
that
you'd
sounds
love
pretty
it.
cool. Yeah, that sounds
And you
awesome.
can like,
I'm gonna jot that down,
they did
actually.
all of Tim Burton like 5 years ago. You could just, I just want to listen to Tim Burton. Like, you just do that, and they're another one. They just go all over the place. I don't think there's an episode this year where they didn't also talk about the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
So, including I got to do Raiders of the Lost Ark and immediately started talking about Red Hulk. I'm like, did not think we were going there.
Yeah, I jotted that down. I'll have to check it out because I'm always looking for more suggestions. And like your mom's house with Tom Segura, I always thought like I kind of like that because it's like him and his wife. And I just love the idea of a couple just hopping on and just, I mean, sharing stories about raising kids or about when they weren't together, when they were together. Just, I think it's just more of like I would love to do something like that with my wife. I think it'd be like really fun, like to have your partner there and just really just kind of shoot the shit and have some laughs and bust each other's chops and stuff. It just seems like such a fun.
See if America can handle it.
Yeah, right. It's like
the
the true
edges of
test,
your
right?
marriage.
It's like, all right, we
podcast.
survived COVID. Can we survive a podcast?
I've actually tried to get Crystal to do that a bunch of times. I think it would be awesome, but haven't got her to bite yet.
Yeah, I think I'd give It's Holly to do it. But I feel like she would make fun of me the whole time, and she would realize that she's.
Well, I also I know my wife would be amazing at it, but there's no way in hell. So never. And I know she'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, we've been recording for like a little over an hour and change. I don't want to like monopolize your whole.
No, I'm the one that veered us off course. So if there's anything you didn't cover that you want to
here
cover
for the next like 10 hours if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, actually, probably this is the stuff that people want to hear. This is stuff people don't really get to hear.
I think so. It's funny, but even like in early issues of Powers, I would recommend a lot of stuff, and I got more hate mail about that than anything that was in the book. Like proper. It was like, you like the Beastie Boys? Ugh! Like, it was really like, he was really mad at me about whatever I was recommending.
I figured we could end it off with like a rapid fire round. Just kind of hit you with like 5 quick questions.
You might be rapid fire. I seem incapable, but let's see what we can do.
We're gonna put you to the test. See if you're
and it's only five rapid fire questions. So it should
okay.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So, hardest character to write dialogue for?
I have an answer, but I don't want
to. Hardest character to write dialogue for that you can answer.
Oh, for me, like I do Howard the Duck or Ghost Rider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
I literally stared them in the face and I couldn't figure out one thing for them to say. They came out of being legit.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right.
And it was also weird that like Howard the Duck showed up in like 7 books I've written. I never ever wrote the words Howard the Duck. Lil Yu used to put Howard the Duck in every crowd scene I asked him to do, and I'm like, wow, that's so funny that you do that.
All right. How about your go-to singing music?
Singing music? Are you like
I think
Beastie Boy, White Stripes, and
signing music?
Oh, signing.
Oh, signing music. Oh, I'm sorry, I read this wrong as singing music. This dude. I was like, yeah. What's your go-to karaoke song? I think that's more interesting than what you listen to.
Well, my best karaoke moment, and by best I mean deeply embarrassing, but I went for it, was Bjork's "Oh So Quiet." I did it in front of a lot of people in this industry, and I'm sure they all remember it because I decided just to go for it. I don't know what my problem was that day.
I'm sure they loved it. I'm actually sad that I wasn't there. Is there any recording of this?
Thank God, no.
Ah.
It was at Randy Bowen, who is a famous sculptor. I'm sure you have some Bowen statues behind you there, Jonathan. And his Christmas party or a Halloween party was a karaoke party, and I have fond memories of really deciding to scream Bjork songs at my friends.
There's actually some good footage of most of us and Brittany singing karaoke at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, that was a fun night. I think I did The Darkness, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, not thinking that there's like really high notes that this is it. My voice has no range.
That's funny.
I went for it. It was great.
And
All right,
my for signings, it was so funny
yeah.
because in Italy, like they go, "Hey Brian, is there anything you want us to put on?" I go, "Yeah, put on some Beastie Boys." It's just to keep the energy up. While I had a feeling I was going to be there for a bit, and um, after like 6 straight hours of the Beastie Boys, I remember, "Hey, we can't change this, guys." I didn't mean to
Yeah, listen to the whole
This is a point where any artist would become madman, and we switch over to the White Stripes, and
Okay.
a lot of people are just yelling in Italian over me, and I don't really know. None of it. Like I didn't learn any Italian the whole time I was there, and then one of the bosses came into the store and just started yelling about the White Stripes, and I could see yes, the White Stripes, and then all of a sudden the guy comes up to me and goes, Black Sabbath, that's what we're listening to. And then I'm like, oh, you asked me what I want to listen
Yeah.
to. Man, I wasn't trying to monopolize.
Oh, White Stripes
It
were
was
great.
very
Rack and Tours, his other bands also. Were
Yeah,
really
I'm
good.
a
I
big
love
Jack
Rack
White
and
fan.
Tours. Yeah, same.
Uh,
What's a comic you wish that you had written that you didn't write?
There's quite a few. I've even written introductions to some of them. Ed Brubaker's Scene of a Crime was like, oh, it was right there. And like, it's often like an Ed idea that, oh man, I wonder if I would have ever gotten there on my own. Like sometimes you read a book, I would have never thought of this, like Precious Metal. Um, but I loved Porchak's The Horizon Experiment,
Hmm.
which was a image book that came out last year that was very like taking iconic ideas and flipping them on their head. And like one of them was, it's Indiana Jones, but she steals stuff from the museum and puts it back where it belongs. And I'm
Oh,
so mad I didn't think of that.
yeah,
I was thinking about it for like just God, just such a good idea. Yeah.
that is a pretty dope idea. Like
Like Velvet from Ed Brubaker was another one where it's all James Bond, but from Moneypenny's. What is Moneypenny doing all day while this is going on? I wish I thought of that. Damn.
all right. How about a dream collaboration that you haven't done yet?
Oh, well, yeah. I think I'm in the middle of a couple of them right now. So like
Okay.
literally going out of my way to do them. So to be continued on that one. Yeah, a couple of them are just no longer with us. Boy, that would have been great. I wonder if we would have gotten along, kind of thing. Um, yeah, you know what? To be continued.
To be continued.
Yeah.
Once everything's allowed to
Again,
be
I've been very
discussed, just
lucky
add in like comment, like in the comment section, you should be like, that was the one. All right, and then the last one I have here is House of M or Secret Invasion.
That's very funny. Well, thankfully, I don't really have to choose, but I will say that when I was reuniting with everybody over the course of the last few months, I did say to the group, hey, looking back, I must say that it feels to me, and I'm curious if you agree, that Secret Invasion was our best moment, like as a group, like marketing and editorial and just the way the way Tom like orchestrated all of it. So like the idea that the worst scroll reveal will be what we're judged on. Like really making sure it wasn't like the same bit over and over and over and over again for a summer. It just felt like we had done House of M, we had done Civil War, and all the other things that came around it. And every one of these events created like editorial like realizations, like that worked, that didn't, or here if we do it again, here's the way we do it. And it felt like all of those lessons got applied successfully to Secret Invasion. Also, with Secret Invasion, there was this like they say, many of my heroes will say that your best work is like right up to the edge of embarrassing, like right there where you're like, oh boy, and it's true. It really is an amazing truth. And I remember the day that the new Avengers issue came out, where spoilers from 20 years ago, Elektra was revealed to be a Skrull. Like Luke Cage like knocks her out and she hits the floor as a Skrull. and that's the reveal that here's where we're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the night before, it literally like had not occurred to me ever in the months preparing for this that, oh, what if no one wants this? This is like literally, if no one likes this idea, this is what we're doing for the next 8 months. And
You're already all in.
A lot of my like comedy heroes, like SNL cast members will tell you, there's nothing worse than starting a sketch and the first joke doesn't land, and you're like, uh-oh, because there's 5 more minutes of that joke.
Yeah.
Like this is the joke. And that kind of idea hit me, and thankfully it went the other way, and people got into it very quickly. But I did have that panic of, oh boy, I hope this lands. Yeah.
Any questions that you had, John, for the rapid fire round? Those are the ones I had here. No. Anything else you want to go through?
Rapid fire round. We do want to thank you for being our second guest on the podcast.
No problem. This was an awesome conversation. This is everything I hoped it would be. That's awesome. Who's next up? Who's the next guest?
We have Dustin. I believe Dustin Wynn is scheduled next. We have like a handful of people that we're trying to get like a handful of episodes done and taken care of. And then we'll launch and go live. So let's have some in the chamber. But it's, well, you know how it is. A lot of people have conflicting schedules, and we're trying to get as much done during like the off time of con season before con season's in full swing. And then next thing you know, you're trying to chase everything down. And do you have a question for Dustin Wynn we could ask him? Just like, hey, Brian wants to know.
Well, yeah. I don't know how to word this politely, but I've seen some of Dustin's influence in other people's work.
Yeah.
Some very loudly.
Yeah.
How does he acknowledge it, and what does he feel about it?
Okay.
Oh, okay. We will definitely.
I'm sure there's a way we could.
I don't know him at all. So but literally, if we were having
Dustin's cool, dude. Yeah, you would like Dustin.
Yeah, he's very.
Yeah, it just can't know everybody, but that would be an OG question, like right away. I would probably ask him about that because, yeah.
Can definitely take the snippet of you saying it and throw it in his podcast.
Throw right in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool, guys. Cool. Thank you so much. So,
yeah.
Josh, you're going to delete what I sent you, right?
Yo, it's already deleted. I know, man. Like,
do not send it to any gossip sites. Please.
No. That's who I am. I etched it into my brain, dude. I can't fucking wait. Seriously, thank you again for your time, for trusting me by sending me those photos, for hanging out, having some laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you're like working on that you want to promote, can promote, or anything on the podcast?
Oh, sure. I mean, listen, jinxworld.com is where you can find information on all the creator-owned books that me and my friends have been doing, particularly at Dark Horse, where we just relaunched Powers for our 25th anniversary of Powers. It's a new series called Powers 25. We're very, very emotional about it. We love it so much, me and Mike Oming, who co-created Powers with us. So if you've never tried Powers before, that is one of the books that got me into the spaces to do Spider-Man and Avengers. So you may want to check it out. Also have a book series, as I said earlier, called Phenomena with Andre Lima, published by Abrams. It's gorgeous. It's stunning. Google it. You'll see it's an amazing achievement in illustration. And I say that having not illustrated one line of it. So these books mean the world to me. If you're a fan of our Daredevil run from years past, me and Alex have a relatively new creator-owned book called Masterpiece out that we're very, very proud of. It's a crime book that we really, really dig. And all kinds of cool stuff cooking in the new year.
All right, well, it's very, very exciting, and again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing, what comes out next, and seeing you at the next.
Well, you've already seen it, so
I know, but I need to see more, Brian.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
See ya.